God is saying, I am doing something new in the earth. The adversaries of the cross are being rebuked, and my sons and daughters are currently emerging from the confinement and servitude that they have been subjected to by the adversary. Zion is the source of prophets and deliverers making their way out. They have climbed to the top of the mount of the Lord, and they have come back with a different perspective. Both in terms of their character and the anointing, they have undergone transformative changes. Their mantles are weighed down by an abundance of fresh oil. The Father declares that the fresh oil has completely soaked your mantle on this day. This is the oil of my Christ anointing that allows your face to shine in the same way that Moses' face shined, and even in the same way that Stephen could shine. This will be viewed as a negative thing by some people, and they will criticize it. Do not pay attention to those who criticize you. Refuse to take part in the discussions that are held by those who simply do nothing and have no other goal in mind than to conclude that there is nothing to do. God tells you that there is more to you than what is initially apparent. You are standing up on the inside of me, and I am standing up on the inside of you. Thank you for being here. In the same way that you move and embody your being inside me, I move and embody my being within you. The majesty of the I Am is emanating from your heart, as well as from your hands and feet. I promise that I will give it to you, no matter where you placed your foot. You are going to speak, and the environment of unbelief and ungodliness will be eliminated. Say not that you do not possess an anointing or a mantle, for the skies are pouring mantles just as Elijah released his mantle to Elisha because Elisha cried out, my father, the chariots of Israel and the horsemen thereof. God promises that you will not pass away without being remembered. You will not be denied a full portion of my manifest glory, even on this very day, declares the Father. I have ordained you and established you as a testament to my name and my goodness. I have established you as a testimony. In this day and age, the Father will tell you to enter into my boundless grace season for you. I will always make time for you right now. I will give you my attention. Because this is the day when you will be saved, I will listen to you, and I will fulfill whatever it is that you require from me. I am telling you that your very shadow will heal the sick and raise the dead if you dare to enter into my now season on earth. Though there are those who monitor seasons, moves, and outpourings, I am telling you that your shadow will heal the sick and resurrect the dead. This has nothing to do with the location or the time. It is possible for you to search the world 1,000 times in order to find the angel that causes the waters to be troubled. Nevertheless, I want you to know that I am as close as the breath that comes out of your nostrils in order to make myself known and to bring about the miraculous on your behalf. This has nothing to do with your value or anything you have accomplished in the past. I will move, and I am moving in your life because of your shameless perseverance in calling upon my name, which requires me to fulfill the promises that I have made. Ask, says the Father, and continue to ask at all times. Seek, and continue to look for it. Please continue to knock on the door. In the event that you do not pray with the expectation of receiving an immediate reward, then your prayer life is not the praying of a now prayer. Put yourself in a prayer life that is focused on the here and now. The time has come for salvation to come. The actualization of the manifestation will take place on this very ground. When you call upon me, I will be proven faithful for all eternity, not because of your own perfections, but because of the merits of my name and the blood that was shed in your behalf. According to the Father, you should not want to be willing to rise up from prayer without receiving answers. In point of fact, the phone will ring, the knock will arrive at the door, and your blessing will explode right there on your doorway. Where do you stand? Do you want a certain amount? To what extent are you dogged? Stop giving in to the abomination that men have referred to as dogma, which asserts that I will not allow you to suffer or that I will allow you to suffer. This is a falsehood. In order to bring about a new manifestation of all of heaven's riches that has been poured out in your favor, my promise is the truth, and it is knocking at your door and hammering at your door. Today, the Father encourages you to let my love take precedence over your suspicions in your life. Your love should be lavished upon others, even those you are unsure of, and you should put your trust in me. I loved so much that I granted heaven's darling to people who were even born with a disposition of hostility toward my kingdom. My love triumphed, and this resulted in the birth of boys and daughters. Despite this, your love will triumph if you make the conscious decision to love without effort, approaching it from a place of yoke easy and burden light. It is not necessary for you to have to convince other people of your love because you do not have to talk about what you show them. You are a God carrier and a demonstration of my love to others around you who are crushed by the weight of upholding the false burdens of modern thinking up against the stark reality of their concealed sins. You are a God carrier. I adore them. Offer them your forgiveness. You shouldn't anticipate an immediate outcome or an appreciation from the other party. You should continue to love them even though they will narrow their eyes with mistrust and even hostility. Continue advancing toward them in love even as they notch the bow of their arrows of questions and criticisms that they are keeping hidden from you behind your back. You have my support. You will not be scratched in the slightest by any of the fiery arrows that are being shot at you by the counsels of unbelievers. There are going to be situations in which your testimony will be similar to that of David, who was injured when he was sitting in the home of his friends. Even as he was sitting at my table, he was attacked by the people with whom he shared a lovely communion. They will spread their poison while smiling as if they were your closest companion. They will do this with a smile on their face. In any case, love them. Your love should be a forceful force. Allow your heart to declare, I am going to love them, and there is nothing they can do about it. At that very instant, the faith that operates through love will start the motor that drives the miraculous in your life. You will be able to cross through mountains that have not moved before you, and this will allow you to fulfill your deepest personal desires. In the same way that you are walking in the favor that I extend to you on this day, slanders that are directed against you will backfire and result in favor with men. Love is the way by which you enter into that continuous fail-safe experience of love realized, faith made apparent, and miracles being evident in every moment of your day. I have called you, and love is the means by which you enter into that experience. Today, the Father encourages you to indulge in some ice cream. There is ice cream in the kingdom, in case you were unaware of that fact. Those who are constrained by religious thought declare that I am nothing more than a gruel and mudden god, and that I have no interest whatsoever in the desires that are most elevated in your heart. I do not identify with that. In view of the fact that you take great pleasure in chasing after me, I will abruptly turn around and envelop you in my arms, and I will load you down with all that is worthwhile. More than only your necessities, but also your pleasures and your aspirations. Please take a moment to reflect on that. To this day, she continues to be influenced by the ancient traditions of the Church, which declare that I am a God who is austere, who is withholding from you, and who solely satisfies your needs, unless I want to teach you something via illness or refusal. God, I am not a God who denies. I never use illness to teach you or oppression to supposedly make you more like me. I never would do either of those things. I am not subject to oppression. It is not true that I am ill. I am the Lord of the entire earth, and you are a person who is entitled to sit at my table. I have invited you to partake of the King's delicacies and to experience the depth of my love for you. It is the Father who declares that you are favored in my kingdom. I am training you to become a person who walks the planet as a monarch and a priest to me. I am shaping you and preparing you to become that person. The signet that I have chosen to place on your finger is yours to accept. Put the cloak of my righteousness on your shoulder and let it to rest there comfortably. You should never allow someone to convince you otherwise of my affection or my generosity toward you. As a God, I am a yes and an amen, and the answer that I most frequently provide to your supplication is that I will always fulfill your request. Inquire, and continue to inquire. I take great pleasure in your requests. When you come before my throne, you are not upsetting me in any way, shape, or form, so make sure to ask in every possible way. Because of your prayers, the angel who is entrusted to you and who constantly sees my face will be able to enter your life with presents from my treasures, which will bring joy to your heart and fulfill you to the fullest extent possible. The Father instructs you to go out into the world and defeat the lies that are all around you. My people are attempting to catch them in their thinking in order to deprive them of the heritage that I have bestowed upon them, according to the erroneous narrative that encompasses the Antichrist doctrine. Regardless of the alerts, warnings, and manipulation that the spirit of the world is spewing forth, let the necessity of your life be questioning at my throne. Please do this. My people are still fascinated with the story of the world because they are no longer enthralled with the glory that I have bestowed upon them. In my opinion, there is no life in the agenda that the world has set for itself. Nothing except my splendor have the power to perform miracles that you have been searching for. The Father instructs you to throw open your gates. If you open them right now, your salvation will come right away. There will come a day when my people will let the gates of their minds and spirits open, and then my glory will enter the world. My majesty will come into you, and then it will leave you to cover the entire planet with its beauty. The entire world is terrified of that day and despises you because you are a representation of something that they find intimidating. There is no need to be dismayed or distracted since my glory is coming into every part of the earth. My glory is walking in you, talking to you, and leading you to have clean hands and pure hearts that will prepare you for the fullness that I am pouring out to whosoever will receive it, and that includes you so that you can receive it. This day, the Father instructs us to be willing to come to me outside of the camp itself. For a very long time, you have been waiting for other people to figure out what you are doing and guide you into my kingdom, which is a place where men have never gone before. Are you aware that they are not interested in what you have to offer? During the time of Joshua, they were the Ephraim tribe, and they have no interest in the inheritance that I have provided for them as a result of the work that was done at Calvary. They have no problems adjusting to life on the opposite side of Jordan. In addition to taking half measures and occasionally bestowing odd benefits, they refuse to acknowledge anything for themselves or for you. What is the maximum number of false covenants that you are willing to expose yourself to before being able to get up and shake yourself off the flaxen shackles of a religion that has died? I am calling you today to come out of the leeks and garlic of Egypt's bondage and to make your way to me so that you might witness the magnificence that I will show you on the plain, just as I showed it to Ezekiel. In the name of God, I command you to rise up, and to take the staff of your testimony in your hand and to follow me. Always be sure to follow the Lamb wherever he may go. The people who are languishing in lukewarmness and who occupy themselves with nothing more than fig leaf religion will be provoked to jealousy by me. I will bring you into your full inheritance. I adore them. You should never think of yourself as being superior to others, but you should remove yourself from that world of religious misdirection and pessimism. Make it a point to be on the lookout for the vivacious hope that is already present in you as a result of my gospel. I am going to design your feet to look like hinds' feet. I will instruct you on how to use your hands as weapons of war. You are going to open your mouth, and the word that I speak to you will be a fire that will destroy every false yoke and every hindrance that the adversary brings against you. I call you today to walk in this portion that I have given you, says the Father. This is your proportion. You are currently standing in front of the east gate of my splendor, the Father says to you currently. It is necessary to issue the command in order to see the gate open and my glory enter. It is not because you have the proper beliefs or the right way of thinking that I have entered your life. Your sense of righteous and entitled behavior does not originate from you or from anything that you are capable of doing, thinking, or feeling. Emancipate yourself from the world of thinking and the realm of feeling, and become a kingdom inside-minded person once and for all. Contemplate my kingdom and experience my kingdom. My kingdom is the native environment that redemption settles you into, regardless of the corrupt world or the ungodly civilization that is exhibiting itself around you. Feel my kingdom and know my splendor. Come to the mountain of my glory, says the Father, because I have cleansed your hands and I have purified your heart by virtue of the work that was done on the cross. Waiting are the elders who are gathered around the throne. Each of the four living things is currently waiting. In that seated place on high, where everything you say and everything you do becomes as effective as if I said it or did it, the Lamb on the throne is waiting for you to rise up out of worldly things and earthly considerations and into that seated place. Every concern that diverts your attention away from my glory and your heart away from my presence is being fought against by the envy of my spirit, which is currently residing on you. Listen to what I have to say. I want you to touch me and I want you to make contact with me. In accordance with the faith that I have bestowed upon you, I want you to have the experience of feeling and experiencing me. I invite you to take in the effulgence, which is the manifestation of the divine nature of my presence. Allow the tsunami of the ministry of my Spirit to wash over you and transform the terrain of your life, bringing the mountains down to a lower level and the valleys to a higher level. This is the area that I have prepared for you to go forth on this day, says the Father. Therefore, you should make the decision to go forth. The Father has spoken to us today, saying, "My presence is going for you. I will prove and I will demonstrate that you are unique in comparison to all the people on the planet by virtue of my name, which I have fastened to you through the power of the blood that was shed at Calvary. I will not merely demonstrate my glory to you, rather, I will make you, as my temple, the dwelling place of my glory, which cannot be decreased or reduced in any manner. Because I am merciful," the Father declares. "Kindness and affection are abundant in me. As the everlasting Father, I am extending mercy to tens of thousands upon tens of thousands of people who call upon my name, and you are included in that number. What the Father has to say is that you are not disqualified. Despite the fact that I am kind and quick to reward you and establish my favor upon you, you are not disqualified, rather, you are entitled to benefits. I have made you worthy to receive what I have to offer by virtue of the same worthiness that causes all the kingdoms of the earth to kneel down before my throne. You are a citizen of that nation that will not be destroyed, and you are among those citizens. At some point in the future, every nation on the face of the globe will fall apart, and the achievements of that nation will amount to nothing more than an archaeological curiosity. On the other hand, the citizenship that I have bestowed upon you is not part of this world or this realm. Rather, it is eternal, and you are eternal as a result of the privileges that were purchased and paid for by Jesus Christ on the cross. It is the Father's will that you receive your inheritance. Please accept the sincerity that is now available to you in this life, which will be yours in its whole on the day that you place your crowns at my feet. God says that you are in the ascendancy today, so take control of yourself and demand from your soul that you adopt the ascendancy attitude of an entitled son. In front of you, every adversary of your God will fall, and they will be unable to rise against you or steal from you in any form. I, the Father, declare that this is your part, and that I am the source of your righteousness. The Father has spoken to us today, saying, "I am teaching you in the glory." You are not being educated in a state of poverty, deficiency, or illness. It is in the grandeur that I am educating you. Both your teacher and your instructor are my glory. My glory is everything to you. In the name of the glory, the Father asks that you receive instruction today. Once you have received the wisdom of splendor, you will no longer be filled with sorrow or sighing. Put out of your mind the notion that you can enter my presence by your own thoughts. It's not in your head where my throne is. It is my throne that is over your head. My lordship will become a reality in your life if you allow your heart to have the authority to veto your head. I want you to do this. Everything else is nothing more than lip service. Bow the knee of your understanding and say, "Yes," to the God of heaven who is enthroned in my heart, you should say to your brain. Then you will be able to do more than just walk on water. Water will walk inside of you, the command will be given, the storms will stop, the heavens will open, and you will have an experience that is like being unexpectedly on land. God asks, are you willing to listen? My splendor is not just standing, but also walking and speaking. My glory is all three activities. The outward manifestation of the authority that I have bestowed upon you in the earth is the manifestation of my glory. Say yes to the glory that I bring. Cry out to me, "Show me your glory," and at that same instant, the doorposts of my throne will shake, and the room will be filled with the smoke of my fidelity, not just to you but also to you, and you will transform into a different person than you have ever been before on earth. You are exactly like this. You are destined to fulfill this role as a God carrier. Where do you stand? You are receiving, right? You are being filled with my glory, which is overwhelming you, and you are being transformed into my image. Just as I am in the heavens, so will you be on the earth. This is as certain as I live. When you call my name in the valley, I will call your name on the mountain, the Father declares today. I will call your name. I will call you to myself, and I will reveal to you the splendor that I possess. Considering that Moses seen my splendor when I was under a weaker covenant, I can only imagine how much more glory I will show you as a tangible manifestation of my presence in a single instant. While I was walking by Moses, I gave him a call by name. It is not that I am passing by you, rather, I am residing in you. I will never pass you by because you are my dwelling place and my dwelling place where I will and where I have put my glory, says your God. There is no longer any need to say, pass me not, because I will never pass you by. This is not about your value or your virtue, rather, it is about my worthiness and my kindness, since I am quick to forgive. As a result, the sons of men are not ruined. My judgment is to cover the earth with my glory, and my judgment begins at my house, which is you. I am the one who begins my judgment. I am writing glory in you so that you and I can go out and finish glory in the earth. I will bring every knee to bow and every tongue to confess and worship toward the temple that you are. I will do this by bringing glory to you. The spoil is being divided, and I am coming down. I will show my glory to you, and I will reveal my glory to the people who are under my authority. My glory is standing in the glory this day, says God. My glory has legs, and my glory is moving. It is walking toward you. It is sprinting toward you in blessing, promotion, and expansion of my righteousness and my purity to cleanse the temple and purify you as a vessel fit for the glory that I am creating in your life as a concrete substance, even this day as I call your name, says God. Today, the Father has spoken to you, saying that the glory is dawning over your life. This is the moment when I will open the gap that exists between the heavens and the earth. Instantaneous miracles and provision are occurring as a result of the sudden manifestation of glory that is taking place in a moment of time. I will pass in front of you and show you my rear parts, just as I did with Moses, and before you realize what is happening, I will spin and turn and offer you a face-to-face meeting with me. You will feel the change, and the first thing you will notice is the heat of my spirit upon you. At that same moment, I will pass in front of you. According to the Father, you should not give your mind permission to question these things, since this is not a visitation for you. Rather, it is a change of address to a more elevated area within me. Make your voice heard to me on this day, says the Father. Pray with your mouth alone. In response to Moses' cry, show me your glory. I did show him the grandeur of a dispensation that is fading away, but what I am showing you is not merely something that is being displayed, rather, it is a habitation that I am calling you to take up residence in. Take up residence, I say, the Father says, stand up, go out, and leave all the diversions that come from the natural world and the earth behind. Take up residence. In the name of the Lord of Splendor and the King of Glory, I invite you to move into my splendor. While you are leaving everything behind and walking in abandonment in the new area that I am opening up to you, even today, there are things in my glory and resources in my glory that are waiting for you. As of today, the Father has spoken to you that I am pressing you to rise to a new place of dominance over the adversary. I am a God who is sovereign, and the traits of my sovereignty are reflected in your life as a result of the blood that was shed at Calvary. I have made you a king on earth, just as I am a king in the skies. I have made you a king. There is no legitimate way for the adversary to exert control over your life or over the land that I have bestowed upon you as a part of your inheritance. Note this, says the Father, just as you have a property in the sky, you are also an inheritor on earth. This is something you should comprehend. Your foot is going to be placed in the devil's neck, and he is going to give in and let go of everything that he has control over in your life. You must make up your mind that you will not put up with the agony that is caused by the adversary, which religious mentalities say is suffering for me. Refuse to believe the falsehood, God says. When I watch you suffer through the suffering that I went to the cross to remove from your life, I do not receive any glory. Not everyone in your immediate vicinity will comprehend this. Because of the level of faith that you have, many people will no longer hang out with you because they will consider it to be presumption and sin. Depart from them. Feel love for them, yet let go of them. The idea of advancing into territory that other people regard to be too radical and too extreme should be embraced from the beginning. I have purposed in my heart that you will receive in this lifetime the complete dividends of the promise of Calvary, to the fullest extent possible, leaving nothing out. Purpose in your heart that you will get these dividends. My mercies are renewed in your life each morning, the Father says today. Thank you for your obedience. At times, you could get the impression that you are a prisoner of your own personal history. However, this is the deceptive appearance of reality. I am the God of time and eternity, and there is no limitation or condition of birth that prevents you from having the highest heart's desire and the greatest dream fulfilled right now. I am the God of time and forever. The highest and best should always be your goal. Take the risk of believing the impossible. It is necessary for you to combine your hopes with a greater amount of faith if, from a human perspective, they are not completely implausible. A person's faith can move mountains. Faith enables one to see the unattainable. You are born into a privileged environment due to the fact that you are my kid. Never give yourself permission to indulge in self-doubt. Take it as a fleeting suggestion that you find offensive, and move on with your life. Take a moment to turn your face toward the gentle breeze of my favor, which will softly blow upon you each morning as you begin your journey on earth. We ask that you turn away from the wrongs and sins that you have committed, and that you continue to walk toward the dayspring that is coming from on high and that is waiting for you in the day. You do not need to justify yourself or explain why you did not succeed or why you did not meet expectations. The only time it is necessary to rationalize human weakness is if you intend to build a profession out of failure or moral bankruptcy. It is not true that I have urged you to fail. I have not destined you to live a life filled with regret. It is impossible to find something spiritual in a face that is full with sadness and disappointment. Embrace my joy, which is waiting for you like the sunrise each day, and let go of everything else that is holding you back. I will create and recreate the possibilities that will consistently bring your life into alignment with my promise. Today, God declares, I am the God of nations, peoples, and their respective tribes. I am the God of the ethnos, which are the nations, and I will, in the name of righteousness, overrule the injustices that have been committed by man against the peoples of the earth who have been made to feel powerless. I am going to overthrow governments, and I am going to step down from positions of authority. I am going to knock down those who are high and lofty, and I will raise from the depths of obscurity those individuals who will carry out my purpose. I am raising up kings, potentates, legislators, and elected leaders whose hearts will be in my hand, and I will turn them wherever I will. Just as I raised Cyrus to bring about my purposes in days gone by, I am doing the same thing now. I will bring my hand over the governments of the earth during this season, and they will know that there is a King of glory who fights for the saints. I will bring my hand over them. Keep yourself in a place of relaxation and have faith in the job that I have done. Recognize that I am protecting you and that no one will be able to take you away from the palm of my hand. Those who come before me with a spirit that is humble and contrite are the ones who allow me to inhabit that high and exalted place. My eyes have not missed your need, so take refuge in me and put your trust in me in this hour. I have not forgotten about you. I will deliver you by exposing my arm at the same time that you are opening your hand in surrender. It is the Father who says, I will not turn to the right hand or the left hand, but I will accomplish that where I have set my face. This day, the Father declares, I am the God of superabundance, and all of heaven's provision is yours. In the course of your life, I will be known to you by the name Jehovah Jireh. As a result of your witness, other people will discover that my hand of favor is available in the earth, and they will be benefited as a result of this realization. I have positioned you, declares the Father, like the pupil of my eye. The fulfillment of my commitments to you does not necessitate a choice on my side each time you have a requirement. Those promises that are implied by the cross are the source of my faithfulness to you, which springs from an autonomic response to carry out those promises on your behalf. I do not consider myself to be a God who would take pleasure in making promises to you that I am not able to fulfill. I am, says the Father, and I am present in your need, making up for every deficiency and resolving every discord. I am here. Therefore, in order to reject incredulity, doubt, and skepticism, you must be determined. Those who allow themselves to become engulfed in pessimism and negativity are denying themselves the ability to show mercy. Never allow yourself to be listed among those who mock my promises and argue away their blessings with lifeless theological reasoning. Reject the disdain of those who have no notion who I am or what I have done. You are not clueless. You are not without understanding of my revealed will. My hand is upon you, yet it is not intended to be used for ill. I declare that on this day, you will be able to see, you will be able to know, and you will exult in the immediate provision that I am making in your life right now.